Welcome to yet another Power BI tutorial from MIPE Consulting. The objective of this tutorial is to familiarize viewers with the creation of a matrix visual as well as conditional formatting of the rows of the matrix using Power BI. In the visual that you see here, the sales and profit figures of the various years have been shown for each subcategory of office supplies. You can see that all of the rows have been conditionally formatted starting the year 2015. The conditional formatting of the rows has been based on year-over-year growth percentage of sales and year-over-year growth percentage of profit. You can see that for the year 2014, none of the rows have been formatted. It's because the prior period sales are not available for this year. In this example, we illustrate getting data from an Excel data source, creating a calendar table, using DAX expressions to create measures, creating visualizations, and conditional formatting. Let's begin. We are in the Power BI desktop. The first step is to get data from an Excel data source. So let's click on Get Data. Our data source being an Excel file, let's click on Excel. Click on Connect. Our data source is Sample Superstore. Let's select that and click on Open. There are 4 tables in this. We are interested only in one table. So let's click on Orders. You can see a preview of the data here. The data seems to be pretty much clean. So instead of transforming data, let's click on Load Data. We have our Orders table here with the various columns. We will come back to this table later. The next step is to create a dates table. We can see that there are 2 dates in this table, the order date and the ship date. At the moment, the date hierarchy is the built-in hierarchy of Power BI. But for future calculations like year-over-year growth, we need to have a dates table. So let's create a dates table. For creating a new table, let's click on Modeling, New Table. And what you're seeing here is the Power Query Editor. Here we have to type a code. I already have the code. I shall copy that and paste it here. So we see the code here. This dates is the name of the table that we are going to create. We are creating a variable called base calendar. Base calendar will store the result of the calendar auto function, which is a DAX function. So let's see what this function does. The calendar auto function returns a table with a single column named date that contains a contiguous set of dates. The range of dates is calculated automatically based on data in the model. The syntax is calendar auto, and fiscal year end month is an optional field. If you want, you can give, otherwise you can leave it blank. So let's go back. The calendar auto, which is a table containing a single column of dates, will be stored in the variable base calendar. And then, based on the dates, we generate various other columns such as base date, year date, month number, etc. using the year function, month function. So let's click on Enter, and we can see that a new table dates has been created. The various columns are date, day, month, month number, year, year month, etc. Having created these 2 tables, we have to establish a relationship between these 2 tables. Let's see how we can do that. Let me click on the model view, and you can see that both the tables are not related. We shall now create a relationship between the date of the dates table and the order date of the orders table. So let me drag and drop it here. So we can see that there's a one-to-many relationship between the date in the dates table and the order date in the orders table. So for each date in the dates table, there could be many order dates in the orders table. So this is one to many, and it is unidirectional. Now let's go back to our report view. We are now going to create a matrix visual. This is the matrix visual. Let's click on this. Under the rows, we shall have category as well as subcategory. So let's drag and drop category and subcategory. You can see the various categories here. When you expand this category, you can see the subcategories under that. Now, under the columns, we are going to have the year. So let's choose year from the dates table. Drag and drop year from the dates table. You can see the various years here. Now, under the values, we are going to have two values. One is sales and the other one is profit. So let me drag and drop sales and then profit. We are interested neither in the column totals nor in the row totals. So we can go to format, go to subtotals. Row subtotals is on, let's turn it off. And column subtotals is on, let's turn it off. So we have only the data. We can format this table a little bit. And then the next step is to create the measures required for conditional formatting. Let's create two measures. One for the sales year-on-year growth percentage and the other profit year-on-year growth percentage. So for creating a new measure, let's click on the orders table, click on new measure, and we are going to paste the code in the Power Query editor. So let me copy this code and paste it there. I have pasted the code here. The name of the measure is sales YOY year-over-year growth percentage. And we are creating a variable called previous year sales because for finding out year-over-year growth, we need previous year sales. That is obtained by using this DAX expression. So calculate sum orders sales. Under the orders table, we have sales. So sum orders is the table name, sales is the column name. Date add is a DAX function. Let's see what it does. Date add DAX function returns a table that contains a column of dates shifted either forward or backward in time by the specified number of intervals from the dates in the current context. Let's look at an example. The following formula calculates the dates that are 1 year before the dates in the current context. So we use the formula date add, date time, date key is the date field minus 1 year. That is, we take the current year and reduce minus 1, which will be the previous year, and we get the previous year data. This is a very useful time intelligence DAX function. So let's go back. In the date add function, we are using the date of the dates table. As you see here, we have the date column. This date column in the dates table we are going to use. The duration that we are going for is the year. Minus 1 is the previous year. So what this formula does is calculates the sum of the sales for all the dates in the previous year. The result of this expression is stored in the variable previous year sales. And we use this previous year sales in the next formula. Return the result of this expression. This is just an intermediate step. This intermediate step is to create a variable which will be used in the final step. What does the final step do? In the final step, we are going to find out year-over-year growth percentage of sales. So year-over-year growth is current year sales minus previous year sales. And when you divide that by previous year sales, you get year-over-year growth percentage. So divide function returns the percentage. Sum order sales is the current year sales minus PY sales is the previous year sales that we calculated here. And this is the numerator and the denominator will be the previous year sales. So the result of this expression will be stored in sales year-over-year growth percentage measure. Let's press enter. So we have the measure here, sales year-over-year growth percentage. Similarly, we can create profit year-over-year growth percentage. So let's click on orders again, click on new measure. Let's copy and paste the code. Let's have a look at this code. So similar to the previous measure, the name of the measure is profit year-over-year growth percentage. We are creating a variable for the previous year profit. So it sums profit column. This is the profit column of the orders table. So calculate sum orders profit. Again, we use the same date add function using the date in the dates table. This gives the previous year dates, and for all these dates, the sum of the profit will be calculated and stored in PY profit. Now is the tricky part. If PY profit is greater than sum orders profit, which means if the previous year profit is more than the current year profit, divide the difference between the current year profit and the previous year profit, that is the growth in profit, by absolute value of previous year profit. Otherwise, divide the growth in profit by the previous year profit. Sum orders profit is the current year profit. PY profit that we calculated here is the previous year profit. So current year profit minus previous year profit is the year-over-year growth of profit. We divide that by previous year profit, that gives us the percentage growth. So this if statement we are using only for the profit column because of a special reason. Supposing we have loss in the previous period. Let's say that we have a loss of 90. Loss is normally indicated by negative profit. So in the profit column, you can see minus 90. And let's assume that the current year profit is minus 100. Previous year profit minus 90 is greater than current year profit minus 100. So when we find out current year profit minus previous year profit, it will be minus 100 minus of minus 90, or minus 100 plus 90, and the growth will be minus 10. That minus 10, when we divide by minus 90, which is the previous year profit, minus number divided by minus number will give a positive result, which can be misinterpreted as a growth in profit, which is incorrect. So in such cases where the previous year profit is greater than current year profit, we use the absolute value of previous year profit as the denominator. So in our previous example, the growth in profit is minus 10. Minus 10 will be divided by the absolute value of previous year profit. Previous year profit is minus 90, absolute value will be 90, and the growth will be minus 10 by 90, which will be a negative number. Actually, there is a reduction in growth of profit or increase in loss. That is why we are using absolute value of previous year profit. Let's press the enter key. So we have the profit year-over-year growth. The last and final step is the conditional formatting. Let's look at the rules for conditional formatting. We have formulated the rules for both sales and profit based on the year-over-year growth percentage. So if the category is furniture or office supplies or technology, and if the year-over-year growth of sales is less than 0, we are going to color the sales amount as red. If the category is furniture and the year-over-year growth percent is greater than 0 but less than 25, or if the category is office supplies and the year-over-year growth percentage is greater than 0 or less than 30, or if the category is technology and the year-over-year growth percent is greater than 0 and less than 40, we are going to color it as purple. If the category is furniture and the year-over-year growth percentage is greater than or equal to 25, or if the category is office supplies and the year-over-year growth percentage is greater than 30, if the category is technology and the year-over-year growth percentage of sales is greater than or equal to 40, we are going to color the sales amount as green. The rules are pretty much similar for profit, only thing is the threshold is different. Let's see how we can implement this in Power BI. For implementing this, we are going to create 2 more measures. We call them S format and P format. S format for conditional formatting of sales, and P format for conditional formatting of profit. So let's click on orders and click on new measure. Let's create a new measure S format. I should copy and paste the code. We shall look at the code. The name of the measure is S format. And we have created 3 variables, namely red, purple, and green. Let's look at the first statement, where red is equal to max orders category equals furniture. This is the OR operator. Max orders category equals office supplies, or max orders category equals technology. As we know, orders is the table, category is the column, and sales year-over-year growth percentage is the measure that we calculated earlier. And this measure is normally in the format of decimal. We multiply that by 100 to get the percentage, and if it is less than 0. This statement is pretty much similar to the rule that we saw here. If the category is any of these, and if the year-over-year growth of sales is less than 0, we have to color it red. So we are defining a variable red for this condition. The max function here is used to group the category. Similarly, we are defining the second variable purple based on the second rule that we saw in the Excel sheet. So category is furniture, year-over-year growth percentage of sales greater than 0 and less than 25, or category is office supplies, year-over-year growth percentage of sales is greater than 0 and less than 30, and category is technology, and year-over-year growth percentage of sales is greater than 0 and less than 40. We are going to color it as purple. Similarly, we are defining another variable green for category furniture, sales YOY growth percentage greater than or equal to 25, or category office supplies and sales YOY growth percentage is greater than or equal to 30, and category equals technology and YOY sales growth percentage is greater than or equal to 40. Now, why did we define these variables? This is for the purpose of code reusability. In case we want to use these conditions anywhere else, we can use the name red or purple or green. And if we want to change the threshold values like 25 or 30 or 40 at some point in time, we need to change it only in this place. And all the other codes where these conditions are used will be changed automatically. After having defined the variables, we are using the switch function. If the condition red is true, that is, if this condition is true, then 3 will be returned to S format. 3 will be the value of S format. Similarly, if purple is true, which means this condition is true, the value of 2 will be returned to S format. And if this condition green or this condition is true, then 1 will be returned to S format. So the final value of S format would be either 3 or 2 or 1. So let's press the Enter key. We have created a measure S format. Now let's use S format in conditional formatting. This is the format icon. Let's click here and go to conditional formatting. Under conditional formatting, let's choose sales from the drop-down menu. Let's turn the font color on. Now let's go to advanced controls. We can see font color sales. Let's say format by rules, because we are going to format based on rules. And based on field, we are going to choose the newly created measure S format. Let's click on S format and let's put the rules here. If value of S format is greater than 0, let's choose number here, and it's less than or equal to 1, we are going to color it as, let's click on custom color, choose green. Let's create the second rule. If the S format value is greater than 1, let's choose number, and is less than or equal to 2. Then let's choose custom color. Let me choose purple. Now let me create one more rule. If value is greater than 2, let's choose number, and less than or equal to 3. Then let's color it red. Let's click on OK. Now you can see that the conditional formatting of sales has been done. Let's check whether it's correct. Let's look at furniture. The sales for 2014 was 157,000. It's increased to 170,000. So there's an increase, but the increase is less than 25%, so it's colored as purple. The sales in 2015 is 170,000. It's increased to 198,000. There has been an increase, but it is less than 25%, so the color continues to be purple. In the year 2017, the same is the case. There's an increase in sales, but it's less than 25%. For the year 2014, we can say that there's no formatting because the previous year sales or profit figures are not available in the table. So in the case of office supplies, 151,000 was the sales in 2014. It's reduced to 137,000. The growth is less than 0 and hence it's colored as red. In 2016, however, the sales has increased to 183,000, which is more than 30% of the sales as per the rules, and it's colored as green. Similarly, for the year 2017, the sales is increased to 246,000, which is greater than 30%, and the color is green. We can quickly verify this if I create a matrix visual and drag the category under the rows. Under the columns, let's drag year from the dates table. Under the values, let's drag sales year-over-year growth. We can see that the benchmark is 25, 30 or 40 for furniture, office supplies and technology. So furniture, we can see that there's a positive growth, but it's less than 25. So it's colored purple. In the case of office supplies, in the first year, we can see that the growth is negative. So it's colored red. In the remaining 2 years, it's greater than 30%. So both the years are colored green. In the case of technology, the first year we have a negative growth. So we have red here. 2016 and 17, though there's a positive growth, it's less than 40%. So both are colored purple. So we can see that the conditional formatting has been properly done. In the case of subcategories, in respect of furniture, office supplies, and technology, we can see that the conditional formatting has happened correctly. Let's create a similar conditional formatting for profit, though with slightly different rules. Let's click on Orders, New Measure. We are going to call this measure P format. So let me copy and paste the code. We have used exactly the same code. We have just replaced the sales year-on-year growth with profit year-on-year growth. And we have changed the threshold values as 20, 25, and 35 for furniture, office supplies, and technology respectively. So let's press the Enter key. We can see the new measure P format. Let's click on Format. Click on Conditional Formatting. From the drop-down, let's choose Profit. Let's turn the font color on. Click on Advanced Controls, Format by Rules. Based on field will be P format. And if the P format value is greater than 0, number, less than or equal to 1, let's color it green. Same rules. Create another rule. Value greater than 1, number, less than or equal to 2. Let's go for purple. Create another rule. Value is greater than 2. Number is less than or equal to 3. Let's go for red and click on OK. We can see that the profit also has been conditionally formatted. Let's check a few cases to see if it's been done correctly. The profit has declined from 5,457 in 2014 to 3,015 in 2015. Therefore, it's colored red, so the formatting is correct. The profit has increased from 3,000 to 6,000, almost 7,000. In 2016, the growth is more than 100%, and therefore it's been colored green. In the year 2017, the profit has declined again, therefore it's been colored red. Similarly, for office supplies, The profit has increased from 22,593 in 2014 to 25,099 in 2015. Though there's a growth, it is less than the threshold, therefore it's colored purple. And in 2016, growth in profit is substantial. Beyond the threshold, therefore it's colored green. Here, there's a growth, but below the threshold, so it's colored purple. What we've essentially done here is row-wise conditional formatting. The rules are different for each category, which is appearing in the rows. We can say that conditional formatting of rows has taken place successfully. Hope you found this video useful. We at MIPE value your feedback a lot. Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you again with another Power BI video.